Okay, we're gonna see now one of the most important things, or at least the one that I like the most, which is visualization, right? In my personal experience, all of them are important, but I would say visualization is the one that has helped me 100,000 times more to get better at the things I have to get better at, right? So I would say visualization is way more powerful, but if you combine visualizations with affirmations, you're gonna unleash unlimited power. So this whole concept is gonna follow the exact same law of cause and effect that you guys already understand, because I've been repeating that shit all over this module, so you guys must understand that already. And basically the whole concept of visualization is just unleashing the power of your creativity, right? Of your imagination. That's what it's all about. And remember, inside your imagination, there's no limits. You can imagine whatever you want. And just as any other universal law, we're using this imagination sometimes to manifest and create. I like using the word create rather than manifest. But we're using this imagination to create negative future scenarios that don't exist. It doesn't exist, bro. Sometimes when you think of a new business idea, your mind starts imagining all these scenarios where the business is gonna go wrong, where you're not gonna be able to pay rent at the end of the month. All these negative scenarios and this fear that you feel are created on your mind by imagining the wrong results. So if you start using the exact same energy, this is something I realized. Because we do that exercise subconscious, again, every single time we're being negative, we're not being conscious that we're being negative. Because if we would be able to stop being negative, right? So if we use this exact same energy, because let's say in order for us to imagine a negative thought requires us this amount of energy, right? Mental energy. But the exact same energy that we put in a negative thought, we can put in a positive thought and create way different results. It doesn't take you anything that you don't have. The exact same energy that you put in a negative thought, in a negative emotion, in a negative scenario that your mind is imagining, you can put it in a positive one. You just have to be in control of your mind. And that's what this is for. So this exercise is basically for you to unleash the power of your mind and your subconscious by using your imagination. So we already understand that every single thing that's created is mental before. You have to see it first on your mind. We put the example of Nikola Tesla, which is a great example that fits in this imagination process, because this guy, before he created this glass of water, he would actively see the things that he wanted to create in his mind. He would work on them in his mind. He would fix errors in his mind. And then when that mental creation was completed, he would physically make it perfect. No mistakes, because the whole imagination process is powerful. So this is just for you to understand that you're a creator. Creator of what? Of your own reality, your own world. You're a creator. You're a creator of a positive environment, and not only for you, but for all the persons who are around you, right? So we are creators. In order for you to create something, you have to visualize it first with complete mental clarity and faith within our inner self. Nothing on earth is created random. Everything comes from a visualization, whether it is conscious or not. And our job is always to bring the unconscious to the conscious, which is basically like integrating the shadow in the light. So again, we can pretty much repeat the exact same example, like of all the subconscious causes that we identified and things we want to change. So for example, getting better at the camera and having more followers, talking with more conviction, all these causes that you identified in previous lessons, you're gonna bring them back, and we're gonna follow these rules. So again, you should be focusing on visualizing, imagining one thing at a time, just like I explained you guys in the affirmation module, right? So basically this exercise is gonna help you change your subconscious, which is what we call in alchemy, transmutating something negative into something positive. You don't have to kill the old version of yourself. You just have to transform it. And in order for you to achieve this, your conscious and subconscious must be working together. This means what you visualize with your mind and what you feel deep inside with your heart, they must be working together. They must be aligned in a single thought, in a single belief. This is where the hard part comes. So I have a practical exercise that's gonna help you a lot. and it's basically what I do on my day-to-day life when I know I have to get better at something. So first things first, you have to practice being present. So there's a book that I recommend you guys a lot, which is The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. This book is going to help you understand that your mind is always running in the future and the past. And neither of these two scenarios exist. All exists is the continuous present, right? I cannot say that right now I am in the past. No, I am in a continuous present moment. And that's all that exists. It's a really good book. I recommend you guys reading it. We can talk about that book on our weekly calls. That would be a good topic to talk about. But for you to understand this simpler, I'm gonna give you this exercise that I do a lot in order for me to be more present in my meditation. So this is gonna be like a meditation practice where you just have to be alone and be in silent and analyze all your thoughts, because once you start practicing this presence, your life is gonna shoot at you a lot of thoughts, and this is normal. You just have to breathe and let them go through. You're not gonna be identifying with any of these thoughts. And an exercise that helps me a lot is using my breath. So I sit down quietly. I could use headphones to listen to some audio, binaural, I guess that's how you call it in English, frequencies, or just being completely silent with the noise reduction, right? So first step is just for you to close your eyes, breathe in deeply, and breathe out at least 10 times. This is gonna help you be more relaxed, quiet your thoughts in your mind. Your mind's gonna start focusing on random stuff. The things you have to do, the lunch you have to make, the conversation you had with your friends a couple days ago, the time that you were arguing with your girlfriend or your friend. And again, that's normal. But remember that you have the control to focus your attention on whatever you want. I can have the control of focusing my attention on this glass of water instead of that plant that's right here. And when you're meditating and when you're doing this visualization process, your attention and your focus is not gonna be as trained as we would like to be. So your job is for you to train your attention and your mind. So if you're trying to visualize this and you're trying to put your attention into this glass of water, your mind subconsciously is gonna go here and then gonna look at this, and then your mind is gonna distract itself with a lot of thoughts that are gonna come to your mind. That's okay. The way for you to control this and master this attention to put it into whatever you want is by your breath. So all you're gonna be focusing on is on your breath. Breathe in and feel every single sensation you can of how the air is getting into your lungs, is getting into your body. And when you breathe out, the exact same thing. Just focus on what it feels like. Imagine the breath coming into your body, renewing your body, your cells, and then going back, right? You should be focusing on this for at least 1 to 2 minutes. You don't have to count it. You just have to be present, breathing and feeling that you're alive. That's all you have to do. Once you repeat this process long enough, you're gonna feel like your brain is way more calm. Your thoughts are not running as fast as they were. And it's at this time when you can start imagining something, whatever you want, but once at a time. Because you're gonna feel your mind starts running, starts creating and imagining a lot of different stuff. So you're gonna have your goal set before you do this process. For example, let's say you're gonna visualize let's say you're gonna visualize you being more confident on camera, right? So again, you're gonna imagine and start. The whole purpose of this is for you to create a real story that you can visualize, a story that went from point A to point B, and to add as many details as you can. You have to add as many details as possible. You have to make it as vivid as possible. Because remember, your subconscious doesn't differentiate between what's real and what's not. If you're creating this scenario inside your mind, your subconscious is gonna take it as something that really happened, and it's gonna storage that thought, that emotion, and that vivid moment inside your subconscious mind, helping you create a new identity, right? So you have to repeat this process long enough. Again, if you sit down in this chair and you started doing this breathing exercise, this focus attention exercise, and you're relaxed enough, you can start when you want. You don't have to put a timer or anything like that. You just have to be present. Whenever you want, you can start imagining how you stand up from your bed, stand up from your chair, you go to the place where the camera is at. You have to be very detailed. So you're gonna turn on the camera, you're gonna visualize all this process so that it feels real for your subconscious. You're gonna turn on the camera, you're gonna turn on the mic, you're gonna do all this process. You're gonna sit down in your chair, you're gonna turn on your computer, you're gonna start talking, you're gonna feel confident within yourself, you're gonna start consciously deciding what to think and what to feel inside yourself. This is a conscious decision. Remember, you can imagine yourself for a couple of minutes just talking to the camera. You don't have to need you don't need to have any script. You don't need to have any coherent speech in your visualization. All it matters is what you feel and what you see. That's it. In order for you to make it way more realistic, it's a really good exercise to actually feel when you touch the camera. Just feel, just imagine that's real. Just imagine that's actually happening. Just, it's like closing your eyes and imagining that I'm grabbing this glass of water and I'm feeling how the glass feels in my hands, how I can move it and how I can grab it, that I'm using my strength to grab the water. What's its weight? I have to visualize and feel all this kind of stuff in my mind when I'm doing the visualization exercise. That's the key. That's the magic trick. So once you start doing this, you're gonna realize that most of the times you're gonna feel like the exact same fear that comes to your mind when you're actually doing the exercise of filming yourself is gonna come when you're meditating and visualizing you talking to the camera. Like, shit, I don't know what to say, I don't know what to talk about. You're gonna feel doubt, you're gonna feel fear, you're gonna feel anxiety. All these things are correct, and since you're doing a conscious activity, you're gonna be way more conscious of all the things that you're feeling and changing them. You don't have to fight against those negative emotions or those negative thoughts. You just have to analyze them from another perspective. Like if you were analyzing another person that's not yourself, you're gonna fulfill yourself with a lot of love. You're gonna breathe in deeply, and when you breathe out, you're gonna visualize how all these negative thoughts, how all these negative emotions that are deep inside yourself are going out. They're not inside of your body anymore. They're not inside of your mind anymore. So you breathe in deeply, and when you exhale, all these things are going out. You're consciously doing this visualization exercise where you take them out of yourself. You take them out of your mind. And when you breathe in again, you breathe in positive energy. You breathe in confident, and you feel it deep inside yourself. You visualize the camera, then you finish the exercise as you would. You close your computer, you turn your camera off, and you feel confident of achieving what it costed you so much to do. The good thing about this exercise is that you can repeat it and do it basically anywhere, anytime. But I recommend you doing it right before you go to bed and as soon as you wake up the next day. Don't judge yourself. Don't take your phone. Don't count the time. And you can at the same time repeat the affirmations you created in the previous module while you imagine yourself, right? So that's why this exercise is so personal. Nobody can come and tell you a step-by-step follow. You first have to visualize doing this, then this, then this. No, it's personal. And that's what makes it so powerful. The very first days, you might feel frustrated. You might feel like you didn't do the exercise good enough, but you'll get better at it. And the most important point is for you to don't get frustrated. Don't feel like you did it good or wrong. There's no duality in this process. You just did it. And if you did it, you did it good. There's no way you can do this process the wrong way. There's no way. If you follow everything I said and you just take the time to do the exercise, you already won. That's it. There's no way you can do this wrong. So never judge yourself. Visualize yourself doing daily what you have to do. So if you know, again, that you have to get to next amount of followers, you have to be posting constantly. So visualize yourself recording, editing, getting better at it, doing your market research. Take a moment to visualize yourself doing market research and ordering your brain to work and give you good ideas for your next video. Give an order, like if you were ordering someone to bring you something with the conviction that that person is going to obey what you say. Your brain, your mind, your conscious and subconscious mind obey your orders. So start ordering with a firm thought and conviction that they're gonna follow and that they will obey what you say. So we're gonna be talking about meditation in the next chapter. It's gonna be real quick because I already talked everything I had to about meditation in this chapter. So yep, see you on the next one.